Hey everyone, this is Avishek back again with another video. I was thinking about the topic for this video when I saw a comment on my previous video by Harsh Pandey saying, "Can you make a video on WBJEE preparation?" Well, I am not someone with an extraordinary rank in WBJEE, but as I am currently in Jadavpur University, I can share my own preparation strategy, the books I followed, and the mistakes I made during my preparation days. There are plenty of videos out there on YouTube for WBJEE preparation, but in this video I will try to share some realistic and relatable approach that you can follow. Let's start with the preparation strategy. Number 1. Prepare for JEE Main seriously. If you are someone currently studying in class 11, then forget about WBJEE and start preparing for JEE Main and Advance. Even if you are fully dedicated for WBJEE. Trust me, there is no different approach for WBJEE. There will be coaching centers offering coaching for WBJEE separately, but I don't recommend opting for them. You can get enrolled for any IIT JEE coaching and that will be more than enough for WBJEE. And if you are good in academics and pretty serious about it, then you can crack it without any coaching as well. Number 2. Categorize the topics according to your difficulty. Divide the topics for each subject into 3 categories. The easy ones. In the category, you can solve the easy and intermediate problems and maybe some advanced problems from the chapters. The medium ones. You have to brush up your concept from this chapter and you are able to solve the easy problems from these chapters. And lastly, the hard ones. There are some chapters we don't like and no matter how hard we try, we never find them interesting. For my case, the hard topics were organic part from chemistry, fluid mechanics from physics, and set, relation and functions from math. For the easy ones, just keep practicing as many questions as you can from this chapter and make sure you can solve all the JEE Main level problems from these chapters. For the medium ones, you need to devote your maximum time to those chapters and change them into the easy ones. For practicing, you can solve the easy problems for JEE Mains for these chapters. And for the hard ones, first see how much weightage they have in the exam. If they are less than 10%, then you can skip them or you can prepare them for your board session and that will be more than enough. But if it is more than 15 or 20%, then you have to work a little hard for it and change them into the medium ones. Number 3. Practice maths as much as you can. Unlike the JEE Mains, the weightage for maths in WBJEE is 50%. It's a good advantage for those who are strong in maths, though difficulty level of WBJEE is less than JEE Main, but for the past 3 years, the math section is becoming harder each year, and the difficulty level for maths is somewhat similar with JEE Mains. Number 4. Learn time management. Time management is something which is important for every examination, but for WBJEE, this is the most important thing. In math section, you have to solve around 75 questions in 2 hours, and for physics and chemistry, you have to solve 80 questions in 2 hours. So you will be getting around 1.5 minutes for each question. Whenever you practice to a certain number of questions, say around 50, and multiply them with 1 minute 20 seconds, and try to solve them within that time. The more you practice, the easier it will get. Number 5. Question selection. When you have to solve 80 questions within 2 hours, it's pretty obvious that you cannot solve every question. It's not like JEE Advanced and you cannot waste your time on question you are stuck on. Without wasting a single second, you have to move to the next question immediately. You can get back to them later if you have enough time left. Talking about the question pattern in maths, where there will be 50 questions of 1 marks and 25 questions of 2 marks. Few of them 2 markers are a little hard, but most of them are similar with the 1 markers. So start solving the 2 markers first and with all your attention. In that way, you can fetch similar marks by only solving half the number of questions. Number 6. WBJEE hacks. You can literally hack WBJEE and let me share some of my techniques I used to do so. You can solve a large number of questions just by eliminating the irrelevant options. Unlike JEE Mains, the options are not that confusing and you can apply the option elimination method easily. For math section, you can solve literally all the questions from coordinate geometry just by drawing a rough sketch for the problem. You can also solve a few questions mostly from maths just by substituting the options to the questions. In case of physics, you can solve 1 or 2 questions just by equating the dimension or the unit of the answer. Also, there is partial marking for multiple options correct question and no negative marking for them. So don't leave any questions from that part unattempted. Even if you don't know the answer, make your best guess and mark it. After all, you have nothing to lose. Trust me, the number of questions which can be hacked in WBJEE is not negligible. Also, you can save a huge amount of time applying these methods. And remember, you just can't apply this directly to the exam. You have to practice using them. Now let's talk about the books I used while preparing for WBJEE. For maths, I used Mathematics by S.N. Day for boards, but you can use this for brush up your basics concepts as well. Mathematics by JEE Main by Sangich publication. This is a nice book for concepts as well as practice. The problems in the book are pretty doable and will help you for WBJEE. For physics, I used Concepts of Physics Volume 1 and 2 by H.C. Pharma for fundamental concepts. Elements of Physics by Datta Palguchait. It's for WBCHFC board, but the concepts in the book are just awesome and more than enough for WBJEE. For practice, I used Comprehensive Physics by JEE by Tata McGraw-Hill publication. Also, Objective Physics by DC Pandey is a good book for practicing. For chemistry, I used notes provided by my coaching institute. NCERT is more than enough for fundamental concepts. Objective Chemistry by Aryan publication is a good book to practice. Also, I used to practice from Dinesh Objective Chemistry for NEET, JEE Main and Advanced. According to me, if you can solve all the questions from Dinesh, then nothing is better than that. Practicing previous year question papers is a must for WBJEE. You can download previous year question papers or you can buy this book by Aryan publication. It comprises previous 10-year question papers. Now I have the best books saved for the last, and they are Handbook for Mathematics, Physics and Chemistry by Aryan publication. They are the best according to me, and I use them more than anything during my JEE preparation days. There is not a single question in WBJEE which is concept, but you should not follow me for this and only use the books for revision purposes. Now let's talk about the mistakes I made during my preparation. Number 1. Never expect too much from the subject you love. Never put all your cards on the subject you like the most. In my case, it was maths. I was expecting 20 marks more than what I got in WBJEE and was pretty disappointed for that. Number 2. Respect chemistry. I never liked chemistry and always ignored it. But questions in WBJEE from chemistry are easiest, and even if you read the handbook thoroughly, it is enough for you to score great in WBJEE chemistry. Also, give priority to JEE Main and Advanced. Most of the students who rank good in JEE also rank well in WBJEE, but through JEE, the only tier 1 college you can get into is Jadavpur University, so always give JEE the top priority. So that was my roadmap to crack WBJEE. Everyone is unique and the strategy I discussed may not be relevant to you, but I think they will surely help you. Also, if you want me to make video on some specific topic, then you can leave your suggestions in the comment box below. Peace.